all the way from Orlando, Florida. He's got a great organization going. It's called Trigger Nation LLC. And his name is Royale Dinero. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage, my good friend and former radio guest, like many of you out here, Royale Dinero. Welcome to the stage. Sir, come on up.
All right, hello. How's everybody doing today? All right, so we're here for the Second Amendment rally. I'm glad all of you guys have come out. Thank you, Mark, for inviting me in the first place. And so I'm just going to go ahead and get started. My name is Royale Dinero. I don't look like it, but I'm 34 years old. Without the facial hair, I look a whole lot younger. You should have seen me when I was like 14 years old. I looked like I was like, I don't know, like 10 or 9. So I've always been like where like I looked like I was like a whole lot younger than I actually was. But I'm actually born and raised in Jacksonville, Florida, and I just recently moved to Orlando. Well, we're in a park about a year ago. So I have always supported Donald Trump from the beginning because I believe in the things that he's saying, and I've always supported the Second Amendment. And so one of the things that people always ask me, they're like, well, you know, you're a black guy and you support Trump and everything. And they're like, you know, what is the craziest thing that people ever say to you? And the craziest thing that anybody's ever said to me, I go to a restaurant and I'm wearing a Trump hat. Like I have the hat on so you can clearly see it. I got on a Trump shirt, right? And I'm literally, I think I was coming from DC going back home, and I stopped over in North Carolina, I believe. I don't know why we stopped there, but I stopped over there. I went to get something to eat. This girl, she sees my hat, she sees the shirt, right? And she literally asked me, she's like, are you a Trump supporter? I'm like, the hat, the shirt, that didn't tell you already. But you know, I get that, and then I also get the stares. I get the people who, they look like they kind of want to say something, but a lot of times I kind of mix up my attire. So sometimes I wear my Trump shirt, and then I have on my NRA hat, and people, they just look at the shirt, then they kind of look at the hat like, oh, okay. You know, they just kind of just back off a little bit. But you know, it's crazy how our rights are being threatened, and it's just people are going off of emotions, and they go off of the wrong emotions, like because they don't like, you know, when the president tweets, or they don't like, you know, that we are not politically correct, because they like their feelings catered to, because for 8 long years under Obama, that's all that they got their feelings catered to. Nobody wanted to tell them the truth. If you told them the truth, it was hate speech. You know, they don't like us having guns. That's already a threat. And the fact that I know many black Democrats who have guns, I don't know why they support the Democrat Party, because they all tell me that they're not giving up their guns. And I'm like, why would you vote for the ones that are trying to take them away? You know? And we get this whole thing, you know, we got all the riots going on, and my biggest issue with Black Lives Matter is nobody ever wants to talk about, well, we'll talk about it, but they don't like to talk about the black on black crime that happens over and over and over and over again. You know, the abortion, Margaret Sanger, her ties with the KKK. They don't like to talk about those things. They want to dismiss those things and act like it's not even a problem. And the biggest joke in the world to me is when people say, oh, there's no such thing as black on black crime. You know, there's just crime. So my response to that is, well, there's no such thing as gun violence. It's just violence. If that's how we're going to go to that, you know. And so my biggest thing is, you know, when they try to censor us on social media and they're trying to come after our First Amendment, the Second Amendment protects all of the other ones. That is the one thing that makes sure that the government does not overstep their boundaries. And when people, they're just so willing to give up their rights for a false sense of security. And we're always constantly getting this whole where, you know, I understand that there are people who actually have legitimate conditions, but the whole mask thing under Corona really got to me, because you got the stores that are literally like, they're not just saying, oh, well, you have to wear the mask in order to get in here. They're like yelling at you, and they're like, and they're like coming at you if you come in there without a mask on. And they're telling people to like tattle on somebody if you see them leaving the house, and if you see them leaving without wearing a mask. And I'm like, Do you not get that's what socialism would be all day long? They would be telling your citizens, they would be mandating and dictating to us what we are supposed to do, and then they would have our citizens tattling on us. That is literally like, that is completely straight out of a Nazi playbook, and it's just mind-boggling to me. So when it comes to all of our constitutional rights, we need to continue to stand up, and I love the things that the lady was just saying when she was up here, because when it comes to the things that the president is tweeting about, he is keeping us informed where we can't even trust the media to do it. We can't trust them to tell us the truth. We can't trust them to speak to us directly. They're using play on words. They're trying to tell us racism this, racism that. They don't want to just tell us just the straightforward truth about what our president is doing. They don't want to mention all of the issues that we are facing now that are a result of a former president already. So whenever you mention anything bad that Obama did, it's, oh, well, you're a racist. And that's the only defense that they ever have. Well, you're a racist this, you're a racist that. And it's just a big pool of hypocrisy. So when I get people who, 5-6 years ago told me that Obama was this puppet, that he couldn't be trusted, now all this time later Trump says the same thing and he's a racist for it, I don't understand that. So we're literally fighting a bunch of people. They don't know where they want to be. They don't know what gender they want to be. They don't know what they want to do in life. And they are constantly moving to the next thing, and they're constantly allowing themselves to be brainwashed. So this is why fighting for our freedoms is so important, because when we have our rights being threatened by all these Democrats and the socialists, and we have the Bernie Sanders, and we have Joe Biden and the craziness that he's dealing with right now, and we have all these different things that are constantly coming after us. They're constantly trying to, they are literally, what they're doing now, when you see all the riots and everything going, they want to punish you and I for voting in Donald Trump. So this is not just your average propaganda like they always pull. This is a punishment, because Donald Trump was not supposed to be president. He was not ever supposed to get in. That was not their plan. They had a plan. We went against it. How dare we, right? And so now they got to try and punish us by having our own citizens who are coming after us. And so they will do anything to incite race wars. They're trying to usher in this New World Order agenda, and they are trying to do it as quickly as they can. So this is why we don't have time for the back and forth within our party. We have got to unite. Whatever problems we got, we can fix them after November. We need to just come together for our president right now. We need to make sure that we're taking back the House, because the biggest issue, yeah, we have the Senate, but the problem is the Senate can't even get to dealing with things because Congress is wasting time sending a bunch of stupid bills that they know are not going to get passed anyways, but they're wasting time. More specifically and more importantly, they're wasting not theirs, but our money that's going to that. If it was their money, they wouldn't be doing it. But because they are the ones, they get to continue to depend on our money. And that's why during Corona, you notice a lot of people were out of jobs. A lot of people did not make money. Nancy Pelosi kept making money. She did not ever, she never went without. So everything was fine for her. Everything was fine for Joe Biden. Everything was fine for Bernie Sanders, you know, the big time socialist who talks about big tech and talks about billionaires while he's got what is it, like 3 houses now, and I heard he's trying to finalize on another one. So we got just a whole, it's just a mess. It's a mess. And so we don't need to get complacent. We have Trump in there, but the problem is that they are doing every single thing they want him gone so they can undo what he's already done. I'm very thankful that they were very cocky and arrogant back in 2016, because it was their arrogance that did not put in all those judges that left a whole lot of vacant, empty seats. So we can please give a round of applause for Trump and all of our conservative judges across the nation. Yeah. Because that's what's going to help drain the swamp. You don't just simply, oh, I'm the president, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. He's got to have his judges to do it. He's got to make sure he has the courts that are together and everything. So you want to make sure you got your right judges, because if y'all don't remember, I'll never forget when he first got in there and passing legislation, he had this judge here, that judge there, blocking legislation here, blocking legislation there, and I'm like, whoa. And I was dumbfounded to that because at the time, I figured he was president, he could do it. And even when he had the rights, you got judges telling him he don't got the right. So he has to take everything to the Supreme Court. I've never seen a president have to take that many legislation. You're talking about simple legislation. You're not even talking about big stuff. You're talking about simple stuff that a president should just be allowed to do. And they were blocking him. He's having to take little things all the way to the Supreme Court. And it's like that shouldn't even have to happen. You take things to the Supreme Court, that is like the last line of defense. When you have gone to regular court, when you have gone to appeal, and now you got to finally go to the Supreme Court. But you want to more take your big legislation to the Supreme Court. And the fact is, Donald Trump has had to take just about all of his legislations within his first 2 years all the way to the Supreme Court because the local courts were not doing anything. So we had a bunch of Obama appointed judges. So I'm very, very glad that we have those things. And I know that people are very impatient, and at times I really get frustrated, but you got to understand, when we talk about draining the swamp, when we talk about, well, I want to see these people to go to jail, why hasn't it happened? You got to understand, we don't have a whole lot of opportunities to do it. We only got like one shot. So you got to make sure you get all your ducks in a row. You want it to be done right the first time, because you might not get another time to revisit it. You want to make sure the time you go after these people, the time that you take them to court, the time that you indict them, because at any given time, they could just go in and arrest somebody. But what happens if they get off? I mean, we'll all be happy to see Nancy Pelosi in handcuffs on the news right now. But what happens if a few days later she gets out because they didn't have all their ducks in a row? Then it's just wasted time. Now they're not going to be able to try her again. You see what I'm saying? So we want to make sure. I am glad that Trump is actually just taking his time so he can make sure he does everything by the book, because you know they're watching a man like a hawk. They're waiting for him to do one thing wrong. He doesn't need to do 5 things, just one. They need that one thing, and they're watching him like a hawk. So he has to do everything by the book. He cannot mess up. So with our bar and the things that they're doing, I'm very, very excited about it. I'm very, very happy about it. And when I'm learning, one of the main things I talk about on my social media now is the sex trafficking. It's been going on, yeah. But it's even more so now. And these are the things when we got ICE agents who are going in and busting sex trafficking rings, and then we got liberals who are protesting that. What? They're protesting that? Who would protest breaking up a sex trafficking ring? Like, you got to be sick in the head to do that. So these are the things that we're fighting. We are fighting people who are contributing to, and I know that these things are very hard topics, and I feel like we got a good enough adults in here that can take that. But these are very, very, these are, I mean, the police reports on these situations, and it's just very emotional. But if you guys the information is out there. It's out there. When you start reading the police reports of the sex trafficking rings that they broke up and the things that they find in there, it's just disturbing that people are capable of doing these things. But these are the people we're fighting against every single day. These are the people, they want business to continue as usual. And the thing is, it's not so much of them coming after Trump, it's them coming after us. They want us. They want control of us. They want control of our states. They want control of our cities and everything. And a guy like Donald J. Trump is standing in their way of every single thing that they want to do. They hate the NRA. I see a billboard, about a year ago, that was here in Florida that said the NRA is a terrorist organization. And I was a little upset about it when I first saw it, but then when I thought about it, I said, you know what? That lets me know that they're afraid of the NRA. They are afraid because we are fighting them, because we are not taking. I have the NRA tattooed on my shoulder right now, and people are like, why would you get that tattoo? Why not? I mean, I love the NRA. The NRA is life to me, so I love the things that they stand for. And so when we talk about they want to tear down our monuments and they want to they're tearing down our history. And the problem is, when you tear down your history, whether it involves slavery, whether it involves whatever it is, our history, we have conquered those things. And when you take down history, the problem is that you will repeat it because no one will ever remember it. And like the lady just spoke about before I came up here, when you try to get rid of history and you end up repeating all these things, they start rewriting history, and they will suddenly start brainwashing the masses to say a history in America that never even happened. And they will talk about how they saved this country from the evil dictator Donald Trump. And these are the things that they want to do. I can see it clear as day that this is the things that they want to do, because they're already trying to talk about this. I'm having liberals who are telling me that it's an insane idea to say that Hitler was a socialist. I'm like, do you not know what Hitler was really about? You don't think he was a socialist. So they actually think socialism is a good idea. They think it's a good idea to give away their guns because they think that the bad guys will just, well, if we put our guns away, then the bad guys will just, they'll just go away. And they think if we defund our police officers, that's going to be a good thing. Who would think that's a good thing? That's only going to increase the criminal rates. I mean, I can't tell you, I have some cop friends, and without even getting into a whole lot of things, you will never know. I would just say this, you will never know how we are able to sleep at peace each and every night because of the investigations that constantly go on and things that have happened within this. I'm talking about threats that were getting ready to come to your front door that you will never know about because of our men and women in uniform who have been going after, they've been going after so many things. The military is doing the same thing. We don't know. We never know just how many threats that we are facing. We are waking up, going to sleep every night in peace, going about our day just chilling. We don't realize there are threats all the time, every single day, even right now. You never know what police have stopped, what criminals, and we start talking about defunding them. Nothing good is ever going to come from that. I don't care what people's arguments are on that. Nothing good will ever come from defunding our police. But this is what they want, and they are convincing the citizens that this is a good thing. Oh yeah, just reroute the money to taking care of your communities. Well, when it comes to funding for our communities, correct me if I'm wrong. Anybody out there, correct me if I'm wrong. When they fund our communities, I thought that funding also included police protection. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Yeah. So, okay. So why? So what sense in the world does that make? Oh, well, we're going to get rid of the police and increase funding for our community. That's a part of your community. That's where part of the money is going to police protection. And how are you going to have rec centers and all these other things for kids to do extracurricular activities outside of school? You want your police to be able to protect your kids, right? You don't want just kids to just be out there and they only got just a few cops that they can depend on because they have taken so many other cops out of the picture. So these are the things, and they are wanting to set us up for slaughter. They are wanting to set us up for slaughter. They don't care about our children. We do. And that is the biggest fight. The biggest fight is not even about me. It's about the kids, because they are the ones who are the future. They will be the ones who take this country on. You know what I'm saying? All the way over into the next 10, 20, 30 years. Way after we are all gone, the children will continue to do that. And they are trying to indoctrinate our children. Well, they're not even trying. They are. They're indoctrinating our children. They got the story hour time. You all know about that. They got just about every little. They just got literally just every piece. I mean, it's in the movies. It's now in the video games. I play some video games, and I can't even tell you the stuff that I've seen in video games. I'm like, this is geared towards children. What are you? And I'm talking about cartoons. So we're not just talking about what they put in the adult shows on HBO Cinemax. We're talking about stuff they're indoctrinating, putting in Disney. They're putting. I mean, they're literally. If you pay attention to what's going on, pay attention to what your kids are watching. I used to always reject when people said that. Oh, just leave your kids alone. Just let them watch this stuff. But when you become an adult and you look back and you're like, my God, you know, and you realize it's always been there. The undertone has always been there. The pedophilia. It is mind blowing. the things that they put on our children every single day, and you'll never notice it because it's like just little things that they put in there, and then they just skip right past it. But when you go back, you actually look, and you're just like, this is what they're trying to teach our children. They want to teach our children that Donald Trump is just this evil man that's just trying to hurt them, and they want to come in. They are creating the tragedy and then painting themselves as the hero that's going to come in and save the day. And they're not going to save the day. They're not going to save us. All they're going to do when they want socialism, they want the rest of us living just poorly in poverty, while they have all their mansions and they have all their good food, all their good water, all their wine and all that kind of stuff. So they will be living the lavish lifestyles. We won't. They don't want us to be independent. Like a black guy like me, they would love for me to just say, oh yeah, I want to be dependent. Well, my mom didn't raise me like that. My mom was single when I was growing up. I watched my mom go through 3 divorces, count that 3. And it's not because she was just going around just not taking care of things. She was with guys who she thought were really there for her, and turns out that they had ulterior motives and whatever happened. But I saw a strong woman, and I ain't even talking about just a strong black woman. I saw a strong person that taught me that there's nothing that I could do. If she could go through all of that hell that I saw her going through, there was nothing that I couldn't do. And that is what the American dream is about. It's not about everything being perfect. It's about things, it's about when bad things, thank you. It's about when life kicks you down. It's about getting back up, because what the liberal agenda is posing is as if everything's just always going to be perfect. That's not reality. That's not reality. You're going to have bad days. You're going to have, excuse my language, but people suck. People suck in life. You're going to have friends who turn on you. You're going to have family who don't like you. I got family. The majority of my family can't believe that I am still on the Trump train after all this time. So, yeah. They were, a lot of them were kind of like, yeah, okay, yeah, you like Trump because he's a billionaire, and okay, yeah, you'll get it after a while. But after the after the Charlottesville thing, a lot of them thought I was going to give up then. They thought I was done when they pulled their little fake KKK stunt. They thought I was going to fall into that and I was going to be done with Trump then. And I'm just like, no, I see through that. And it was just one after the other, after the other, after the other. I know why they're coming after this man. They're in every single thing. God is with Donald J. Trump. People don't want to believe that, but God is with him, and that is why every single thing that they are pulling right now, anybody else, they would have been, and in normal circumstances, what they're pulling right now will have you're talking about 2 years ago. You got some people 2 years ago, the things that they have put Trump through within his first 2 years, he wouldn't have made it. But it's because when people sit there, how is it that he is just going through? I don't know how he's doing it. I know it's because of the God that is within him, that is working through him. And when God is with you, it don't matter who's against you. God with you, God alone with you is bigger than 10,000 of these people. And God and these people, when I say that they are fighting Trump, they are fighting God. Not because Trump is God, but because he's being led by God. And when God is walking with you, I don't care who is against you. And my mom's not even a Trump fan, but let me tell you, my mom built me up and raised me to believe that when you have faith in God, nothing is impossible. Amen. You can do anything with God as long as God is with you. So when God is for you, and God has not abandoned us, we reached out to God for help under the hellacious time that Barack Obama had put us through, and God did not abandon us. So those who want to say, oh, God is punishing us, no, God is with us. God heard our prayers, he heard our cries, and he is with us now. So God is Am I okay? I just want to make sure I don't go over my time. I can get talking now, So let me know if I start going over my time. But my main thing is, when I start talking about God, man, I can't. It's like there's like no end, because the things that I have seen God do. You're talking about 10 years ago, this time frame 10 years ago, during the summertime. I was living in my car. My car broke down. It was not too far from my friend's apartment complex. We were actually able to get it towed over to his area and everything. And I actually slept in my car, had all my clothes with me, washing my clothes in my friend's apartment every day, who actually lived with her mom at the time. So her mom really didn't, want anybody else staying in there. So I slept in my car at night, washed my clothes at day. I walked an hour every single day to the library trying to find a job. I didn't mope around because, oh man, I'm homeless, I guess this is, some white man's fault while I'm in here. No. I had to realize that if I was going to ever get out of that situation, if I was ever going to become something, I had to push myself every single day to get out of it. And people come back, oh, Royale, I'm so sorry you had to go through that. I'm so sorry nobody was there for you. I'm not sorry. I'm fine. Because it made me who I am today. It made me, that situation alone is my biggest testimony, because me making it through that and God being with me, because God was with me the whole time, which is why I never worried. And the fact that God brought me out of that, and he was there with me while I was constantly working to get up out of that situation, that showed me even more so every single thing that my mom raised me to believe. So every single thing, when the Bible really says, train up a child in the way he goes, and when he is old, he won't depart from it. So when I was all these years older, after every single thing that my mom, and I was just like, man, I got hardly any friends that's really, but it made me. And it made me to not be dependent on others. It made me know that I can do it. And so that's why I support a guy like Donald J. Trump, because this guy, when people say, oh, well, he's been bankrupt, oh, he's been this, oh, he's had that. Well, I prefer the guy, personally, I prefer the guy who has had some trials and tribulations and has shown that he can overcome all of those things, versus a guy like Barack Obama, who everything has just been, you just paved the road for him. I don't like perfect people. I don't like perfect people. I like people who have been through some things. When people try to give you advice and they try to, and they talk from this perfect perspective because they haven't really had it rough. I don't really like that. I like somebody who has been through some challenges, and those are the people who I like to listen to. So when I see Trump going through it, and you can tell in his face sometimes that he's tired, but he's still going. He's still going. And so these are the things we need to be thankful for. We don't need to be complaining about the tweeting, and we don't need to be complaining because he said this, because he said that, because the thing is, he's putting these people in their place. I have been so sick and tired of the media most of my life, because I know a lot of them, they have a very smart aleck, sarcastic undertone. A lot of them, they try to entrap you with certain questions. I've seen them do it my whole life, and I'm glad that a guy like Donald Trump is putting them in their place. When they ask him stuff and they try to make statements that are not false, and he just stops them and he shuts them down. They don't like those things. And then they try to go back, oh, well, the president is bullying me. No, the president put you in your place is what he did. And nobody's ever put you in your place before, so you don't know how to handle it. And these are the things. We finally have a guy who is putting the Democrats in their place because they want to bully us into silence. They don't like us doing things like this, gathering like this. They don't like this stuff. We put out a picture right now. I guarantee you there'll be somebody or somebodies who will say that this was nothing but a KKK rally filled with a bunch of racists, and they forced a black guy to show up because they wanted him to be their token. These are literally the things that people actually say. So this is why. But see, I can laugh about it because it's ridiculous, and so we need to just be continuous. We need to be strong. We need to continue to put the hammer down on these people because they are finally getting a dose of their own medicine. They were used to the Republicans who just stood back and we just let them just say what they wanted. We just let them do whatever they want. But now we are in their face. We need to continue to be in their face, and don't leave your patriots alone. Go out there with your patriots. Sport all of your Trump stuff because they feed off of our fear. They want us to be afraid. They want us to be fearful. They want us to be scared of Antifa and the Black Lives Matter and who else that they're going to try to get to come after us. And when Trump first got in office, I didn't want to wear anything unless I was out with my boys, because nobody was gonna ever mess with them. But over time, I said, you know what? If this man can leave his billionaire lifestyle to come and fight for us for free, by the way, for free, and if he can do all of that stuff, I can go out and I can wear a Trump hat for him, and let people know that I support the man. Because when he first ran, when he first announced it, if you don't remember, he said, I don't got to do this. I could just go, I could just finish golfing, I can continue just to, enjoy the fruits of my labor. Because Donald Trump, in his position, he wouldn't be affected by any of the stuff that we would be affected by. He wouldn't have. He could have stayed out of it. Okay, yeah, they'll do their things. Well, I got my money and they got to get theirs. But he said, no, I'm going to leave that lifestyle so I can be there for the people. And to drive it even further home, the man did it for free. I mean, come on. So, the fact is he is donating the $400,000 paycheck. He's actually donating that to charity every single year. These are the things that don't ever get talked about. So they don't ever get mentioned, in the media. They just say that this is a guy who was trampling on our rights. He is, he's just a Nazi. He's Hitler. And honestly, the racist thing, it's so old now. It's like come up with something new. They've been calling the man a racist. It's like, yeah, racist is beginning to be just like any other word to me. It's like, yeah, okay, yeah, racist, whatever. It's like it goes in one ear, goes out the other. So, these are the things, and I just want to encourage y'all to continue to fight for the man who is fighting for you. Because if it was over and he was just out of office, he will be fine, but you and I won't. Right. So fight for the man who is fighting for you, because he loves this country, because he loves you and I, and many of us we've never even seen before, never even met. But the fact is, we are supporting him. And like all these celebrities, Taylor Swift and all of them, they want to hate on him. I look at a guy like Donald J. Trump, and somebody tried to make an argument to me the other day, well, you don't want to say nothing about Taylor Swift because she's got all these followers and she always sells out arenas. I said, okay, well, she could sell out arenas and that's fine. But while she's filling up arenas, Donald Trump, when he does his rallies, he's filling up the entire freaking block, dude. Like, you got people like blocks away waiting to get into the Trump rally, and even when they don't get in, they still stay so they can watch it on the screens. So that shows me that the people are with you. I am tired of Hollywood. I am tired of the celebrities. I am tired of the pedophilia undertones. I am tired of them indoctrinating this foolishness on our children. I am sick and tired of the abortion. I am tired of Planned Parenthood. I'm just over it. I am sick of Hollywood and their entitlement attitudes and them thinking that they are above us and that we need to listen to them. They didn't leave their lifestyles and come and work for the people for free. As far as I know it, Hollywood, they are another group of people. They will also be separated. I mean, they're separated from us now. They don't know the everyday problems that you and I go through. So, and they don't care. They don't care about us. They don't care if everything went to socialism. Hollywood would be fine. That's why they're fine with it, because their money's not going to stop. They are in with the Democrat Party because that's all on that side. So I can't tell y'all how many movies and stuff I've stopped watching and boycotted and all those things, man. But I could be, the list goes on and on. But I just want to encourage you guys. It is a dark road right now. It is very, it's very unsettling to see the things that these people are capable of, but at least now you know who you're dealing with. At least now Donald Trump really went up to these people. He snatched the wool off of them, and now you see them for who they are and who they have been this entire time. So these people, I don't remember one time since they've taken over the House in 2018 that they have ever passed any legislation to stop sex trafficking. I haven't seen it. Have y'all seen it? Because I didn't. If you did, let me know. But I haven't seen it. And these are the things that are issues within our country. These are the things that we are facing every single day. And these are the type of people who we are fighting against. So Don't be discouraged, even though things are rough right now. Just make sure you are continuing to fight. Make sure you go to the voting booth. Don't mail your vote in. Go to the voting booth. Thank God that you're in Florida under Ron DeSantis, where he's not playing none of that mess either. So and I love Ron DeSantis. I love the things he's doing, and you can tell he's about had it with the media too. So so be thankful that you're in Florida, because not everybody is so blessed. So thank you guys for having me. Thank you for bringing me here, Mark. I love y'all. God bless America.
That's Royale Dinero, Trigger Nation LLC. Search him out on Facebook. He's got great shirts, hats, all kinds of good merchandise, and a great message.